Welcome, Squadron. For those that are new, my name is Omar. I'm a Reiki Master Teacher, an ordained minister, and a fantastic tarot reader. I've created these videos to deal with topics relating to Reiki, metaphysics, and all things holistic. With that out of the way, on to the video. Today I will be discussing self-care practices. Now, this is actually the follow-up to the previous video I did, What is Self-Love? And ultimately a part of the bigger inner work series that I have planned, but we'll get to that. I'm gonna keep you posted on it. But yes, if you haven't had a chance to see the What is Self-Love video, don't worry. I'm gonna post a link for it down in the description. Back to this video, I'm going to be covering the 3 popular questions that I get in regards to self-care practices. The first one, what is self-care practice? Or what is self-care? The second one, is self-care selfish? And the third one, what are some examples of self-care practices? There we go. I got through that. I was like trying to remember all of them. But yes, so going through each one. First one, obviously, what is self-care? I'm going to give you 2 definitions. The first one being from the Oxford Dictionary. The second one being from Wikipedia. All right, so Oxford breaks it down as noun, the practice of taking action to preserve or improve one's own health. The second one, the practice of taking an active role in protecting one's own well-being and happiness, in particular during periods of stress. Okay? Moving on to the Wikipedia definition of it, it states, self-care has been defined as the process of establishing behaviors to ensure holistic well-being of oneself, to promote health, and to actively manage illness when it occurs. Individuals engage in some form of self-care daily with food choices, exercise, sleep, reading, and dental care. It's interesting that they put dental care in there, but all right, self-care is self-care, right? But now you have a deeper understanding about what self-care is. So now we can go on to the second one, or the second question, I should say. Is self-care selfish? Me personally, no, it's not. Self-care is probably the most important form of self-love, because how can you say you love yourself if you're not taking care of yourself? Another thing, if you are a light worker, an energy healer, an empath, whatever the case may be, or even just simply a caregiver, you already know how easy it is to be drained, to give and give and give, and not have anything left for yourself. And that simply just doesn't make any sense, right? How can you give to other people from an empty cup? But it is not your fault. You see, this is a societal ideal that is just impossible to maintain. We are brought up on the notion that we should strive to be able to give a person our last piece of food, or give someone the clothes off of our back, or give someone the last dollar out of our wallet. And it seems very honorable, right? It seems very charitable to be able to have that mindset. But logistically, it just does not work, because if you give someone the last or the only of anything, you're not helping that person really. You're just putting yourself now in that person's shoes. You're trading places with them. What their issue was, you've now taken on and made your issue. But again, society is like, look at you. Aren't you just a wonderful human being for doing this? No, don't wait until you have more food that you can share with this person and also still be able to eat yourself. No, don't wait until you actually are able to buy a new wardrobe and then you could give your old wardrobe away to the needy. Absolutely not. Wait until you have more money in your pocket so that way you can take care of all of your needs and still be able to be charitable. Absolutely not. That is selfish. Are you hearing how that doesn't make sense, right? And this is what I usually say to people when they're like, well, it's self-care. No, it's not. What's selfish is the idea of being selfless, right? Selfless in itself is a very flawed system. You can definitely help other people, but don't help other people at the expense of hurting yourself. But if you want more of a professional take on it, I took this from the National Council for Mental Well-Being. They have a website called Mental Health First Aid. And this was one of the websites or articles that they did. It's called How and Why to Practice Self-Care. In the article, it states, engaging in a self-care routine has been clinically proven to reduce or eliminate anxiety and depression, reduce stress, increase happiness, and more. It can help you to adapt to change, build strong relationships, and recover from setbacks. I'm sorry, I'm not hearing how any of that is selfish. I'm actually hearing how all of that is really a necessity. Just saying. What does it sound like to you? Let me know down in the comments. But all right, moving on to the last and final question for this video is, what are some examples of self-care practices? For this, I've actually pulled from my own personal list. Like, these are practices that I do myself. But by all means, if you have some self-care practices, again, put them down in the comments. Help other people that are going to find this video so that they can have some ideas or some examples so that they can create their own. Okay? So here's my list. Number 1, mirror work practice. If you've never heard of mirror work before, I go over it in depth in the self-love video, and I also give you 2 methods to do with it. But a basic breakdown of it is using a handheld mirror, your bathroom mirror, a full-length mirror, standing in it and saying words of affirmation, right? It is all about giving yourself the positive reinforcement or the positive support that you may not have been able to get from people around you as early or far back in your timeline as your childhood, right? It is a very powerful tool when it comes to inner work. The second thing that I do is recharge days, where I take 1 day every week. I completely cut myself off from the world and I just do all of the things that I need to do to feel like myself again, right? Because between my personal life and being there for people and also what I do professionally, being all those things I listed at the beginning of the video, it does take a toll on me. So I do need time to just unplug and recenter, reground myself, and come back to my true self, all right? And I can do that during a recharge day. Obviously, not everyone can take a whole day every week, but just take a couple of hours or even half a day. But just set aside time when you don't have to deal with anybody's stuff but your own, okay? You're not here for anyone else. Just be here for yourself. Show up for yourself, okay? Another thing I do is I try and get 3 to 8, Number 3, there we go. Getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night. Now, I try to do this. I'm not the best at this, but I know that they said we can work on 6 hours of sleep. That doesn't mean I'm going to work on 6 hours of sleep. No. If I don't get my 7 to 8, I'm not going to be the best for anyone else. Number 4, being active. I do this through working out twice a week and also yoga as my third form of working out. So you can look into different things. You can take up jogging, a gym membership, working out at home. There's a lot of wonderful free videos on YouTube that break down at-home workout routines, Tai Chi, yoga. Please look into them. They are great. The 5th thing I do is listening to music. I love listening to music. It's just one of the things that really speaks to my soul. I can get lost in a song's lyrical content, the melody, or just whatever emotions a song invokes in me. Believe me, I will play a song to death in a heartbeat. It will go on loop so fast and will stay there for hours. Do not play with me. Number 6, watching shows and movies I enjoy. Now, I am a big movie and TV show person. I mean, not as much as I was in the past. In the past, I was consuming it. But obviously with what I do work-wise, it can be hard at times. So on my recharge days, again, when I'm not dealing with the world, I can split it between working out, listening to some music, catching up on some shows or some movies that I have saved on different streaming platforms, or just going back to a good comfort show or movie that I haven't seen in a while and just get lost in the world again. So that's another thing that I do. Number 7, playing with toys and video games. And what you will not do is you will not judge me. Okay? Yes, I am still a kid at heart. It does not matter how old I get. I am never going to let that part of myself wither away and die. I don't care what society says. Not everything that society tells us is good for us is good for us. Do I need to go back to the is self-care selfish section on that? I don't think so. But yes, in this, I do a lot with my nephews. We will play video games together, or I will play with action figures with them, help them to come up with grand imaginary stories for like their action figures. I'm usually the bad guy. I am a fantastic bad guy, okay? Do not doubt my bad guy skills. I got them on lock. All right. And my 8th and final one, Reiki and meditation. Yes. Because I do it for my clients, so obviously I'm going to do it for myself. But it's also good for me spiritually, right? Reiki and meditation helps me to connect to my spirit team, my higher self, source. But last but certainly not least, my own freaking soul, right? I can reconnect to my truth, my purpose, what gets me up in the morning, right? Like all of those things. I can also commune and learn more about what I'm supposed to be doing with my path, my spiritual journey, getting advice on questions that I may be having a hard time coming up with a solution to. So there are so many benefits in it, and that is why I do it, all right? But that is my list. Again, let me know down in the comments your list, all right? But that is all I have for now in this video. I don't want to make it too long, but yes, let me know your thoughts about anything that I discussed in this video down in the comments. Also, if you have any questions regarding inner work in general, self-love, self-care, inner child work, shadow work, put them down in the comments, because that's going to help me with creating videos for this series, all right? So I'm just cannot wait to see what you write down there. Another piece of information is I am currently taking on new clients or students. So if you are interested in receiving a tarot reading from me, guided Reiki from me, or if you want to become a Reiki practitioner or master, my email is down in the description. Reach out to me about whichever services I listed, or to get a list of my services and my price points. All right. Another thing that is down in my description is my PayPal me link. Yes. So if you can donate, I would appreciate it. But if you can't, I completely understand, and you can help me out in other ways like sharing, subscribing, liking, commenting, because that really does help. Believe me. All right. Until next time, I am sending you light and love on your journey to heal your shadow self so that you may embrace your true self. Namaste.